Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on Prague Magic. Today we're going to be looking at some Pokemon that desperately need brand new evolutions. You know, mons that are out of one stage or have a terrible evolution so, you could one-up them but they only have two. Anyway, let's hop in and see just what Brandon is talking about this time.
Between Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we've been seeing a resurgence of cross-generational evolutions. Some for the better
Great.
and some for
No.
worse. So let's talk about some Pokemon that need some cross-gen evolutions.
Let's see who's on the list.
Hey everyone, Brandon here.
Sorry about that.
Generational evolutions began as early as the second generation of Pokemon, with the introduction of Pokemon like Scizor and Crobat, who just so happen to be some of my favorite Pokemon. Many others tend to
Good
agree
mons.
that the trend of cross-gen evolutions is fairly net positive, and like I said in the intro, they've had a massive comeback in the past couple generations, with regional evolutions like Obstagoon and Overquill, but also straight-up new evolutions like Weirdeer or Farigiraf. So that got me thinking about Pokemon that should have gotten a new evolution. One Pokemon in particular that has puzzled me as to why it hasn't received love in the evolution department, and that Pokemon is Jinx. In Gen 4, many Gen 1
Yeah, Jinx is weirdly overhated. I mean, I can understand why, solely based off the looks. So giving her an evolution would definitely be a positive to all.
Pokemon received evolutions or even pre-evolutions, but Jinx was completely missing from that list. For context, Electabuzz, Magmar, and Jinx used to be regarded as a trio of sorts. In Gen 1, their types mirrored the legendary birds, as well as the move Tri-Attack. In Gen 2, they all received pre-evolutions, further cementing their relationship to one another. But then in Gen 4, Jinx is just left out. Even Jinx's partner in Creep, Mr. Mime, received a pre-evolution in Gen 4, and to add insult to injury, got an Ice Psychic type evolution in Gen 8. Look, I realized there was a bit of controversy surrounding Jinx, but Game Freak changed Jinx's appearance and even made Smoochum. So where's my Jinx Evo, dang it?
Yep, hold it, we're already too into it. Okay, we're back, and we had a minor error, but everything should be okay.
A great example of what that might look like is Operinks from Maui region, which expands upon the opera singer motif of Jinx and definitely feels like it could stand next to the likes of Electivire and Magmortar. And a phone that can stand next to the likes of gaming consoles comes to us from today's sponsor, Red Magic.
But that's where we're gonna cut. We're back.
Pokemon like Scyther and Sneasel actually received a second cross-generation evolution in Legends Arceus, with Scyther in particular bringing to mind another Pokemon that deserves a second cross-gen evolution, Onix. Scyther and Onix are the only two Pokemon in the history of the franchise to evolve via the Metal Coat. On top of that, both their evolutions received Megas in Gen 6, further solidifying this connection. So maybe in a future Legends game we could see Onix receive a similar treatment. And Michael Ryan had that exact idea when he created Glaciix, an ice ground type for his Legends-inspired project linked in the description. Glaciix evolves via the white Augurite item, to contrast the black Augurite that Cleaver evolves with. The connection doesn't stop there.
I love it. It literally looks like some kind of frozen snake, like almost some kind of icy Jormungandr.
Though, as Glaciix becomes an ice type upon evolution, which is also weak to steel, just like Kleavor's rock typing. And of course, to round everything out, Glaciix is a reference to the notorious Crystal Onyx episode from the Pokemon anime. This evolution for Onix brings so many things full circle and would be so cool to see it actually happen. Pun intended. While we're on the topic of Legends Arceus, a Pokemon that received a brand new third stage evolution in that game was Ursaring. Well, Ursaring has some counterparts that have come up over the generations, Beartic and Pangoro. There isn't really any lore or behavioral reason for these counterparts. The only real reason is that they're all bipedal second stage bear Pokemon. So just like Onix, I think Beartic and Pangoro could receive a new third stage evolution in a future Legends game. And with that, we come back to Michael's Legends project, in which he gave a new evolution to Beartic called Polartic, an ice fairy type that, can I just say, takes this evolution line to a whole new level. Seeing this potential truly makes me wish this was real.
Yeah, that's actually a really good Evo. This is what I'm trying to say.
Polartic follows the pattern of Ursaluna by having a quadrupedal evolution, but Polartic is also inspired by an Icelandic mythical creature that is ostensibly a polar bear unicorn, whose name looks like it was taken from the top row of a word search puzzle. Regardless,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try speaking that.
Polartic is an epic evolution to Beartic that I would love to see in the future. The second generation of Pokemon has seen some major love with forms and evolutions in both Legends and Scarlet and Violet, but there is one Pokemon in particular that is in desperate need of attention, and is one of the very few Gen 2 Pokemon yet to be given the spotlight in any way. And that Pokemon is Sunflora. Its pre-evolution Sunkern has the second
Yeah, man, I thought you were gonna do Octillery, but alright, fine.
lowest base stat total of all time, only being beaten by Wishiwashi, which has the schooling form to help it. But then Sunkern evolves into Sunflora, which has a 425 BST and a pretty simple design, which leaves plenty of room for an evolution to come into the mix. I even took the initiative and made my own evolution for Sunflora named Synthesis for my Fakemon region, the Cornera region, which is a grass fire type, playing into the whole idea of a sunflower. But there have been many great Sunflora evolutions in the Fakemon community over the years, which just further accentuates my point. And while we're talking about base stat totals, a Pokemon with an absolutely atrocious BST is the master himself, Kricketune. It has a BST of 384, which is almost the lowest for a fully evolved Pokemon, only being beaten by Shedinja because it literally has 1 point in the HP stat. So a Kricketune evolution could definitely help take this line from meme-worthy to team-worthy.
Okay, now that was a little funny. Cut. And we're back.
Great example of a Kricketune evolution is Krickamarch from Oppo Fakemon. It's a bug ghost type and actually evolves from a regional form of Kricketune of the same type. Krickamarch furthers the violin beetle part of Kricketune, making it into more of a stand-up base, and takes on the role of a maestro, which I feel is a great expansion of Kricketune's concept. Another concept that
wait a minute, that was an evo of a regional variant of that mon. So wait, that was like what they did with Zangoose in Gen 8. Huh. Well, how's that for you?
Long thought of in the Fakemon community was a Pika clone that evolves. I even did this in the Cornera region as well with my Pika clones. Well, lo and behold, Gen 9 not only brought us our first evolving Pika clone, but it evolved twice. With this precedent set, what is stopping all the previous Pika clones from getting their own evolutions? I made a whole video where I did exactly that, which you can check out in the card or
I remember that video, and I remember reacting to it. If you don't, check that out.
Linked in the description. Some of my favorites from that video are Togedemaru's evolution Togedioki and Minun's evolution Devizen, which just shows some of the potential we could see with Pika clone evolutions. And technically speaking, Pamo is the Pika clone of the group, making Pami a Pichu clone and Pamat a Raichu clone. So the Pika clones could also receive their own pre-evolutions as well. Let me know if that's a video you would like to see in the future.
Why not?
To round out this video, there is one Pokemon in particular that acts as the poster child for needing an evolution, and that is Luvdisc. This is definitely one of the more useless Pokemon in the franchise, with an incredibly low BST and a tendency to show up late in Pokemon games, well after the point in which its stats would have been remotely useful. Its only real use is for finding heart scales to help with the move tutor, but now that the move tutor is no longer a thing in Gen 9, it makes Luvdisc very useless. On top of all that, there's an elephant in the room you are probably all thinking of. Alomomola. Why this Pokemon was introduced in Black and White, the game that only used new Pokemon, boggles me. It is so clearly a Luvdisc.
Wait, Alomomola was introduced in Black and White? I thought that was introduced in Alola. Huh, I guess I was mistaken.
Evolution, it actually hurts. But since Game Freak will probably never retcon that connection, we in the Fakemon community must make a Luvdisc evolution ourselves. Two incredible examples of Luvdisc evolutions are Lovey-Dovey by Tubbs AZ and Arisdisc by Mauhi region. They both evolved by Luvdisc leveling up while knowing a move that relates to love, which is just perfect. On top of that, the pairing that these two evolutions use works wonderfully. And I especially love the bow and arrow approach to Arisdisc, to mention its namesake, Eros, the Greek god of love, whose Roman counterpart is the very famous Cupid. But those are some Pokemon that need cross-gen evolutions. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Well, I have to say, that was a little bit of a short video, but still an interesting one to check out. Anyway, folks, that's where we're going to leave off today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link will be in the description, and I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.